साध्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नाम्ने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण. How long is the class go? What time should I start?
The plate is out of the olive, so we'll give you some. Usually it's 5.
Till 5?
Yeah, the class goes from 4 to 5 o'clock.
4 to 5? So it's around 4:25. So I have around 30 minutes to be. So it's my great pleasure and honor to be here at ISKCON Hartford, Connecticut Temple. My parents are here. My mother is here, Sundari Devidasi, and my brother is here, Arjun. My father was here for some time, gone back to Mexico. So this is their first visit to the temple. Welcome. And how many of you all are coming for the first time? Is anybody new to the movement? Anybody new to this process of Krishna consciousness? I see. So everybody else is acquainted with the philosophy. So I'm just asking this so that we can pace the class and the level accordingly. So today, is the voice audible at the back? Okay. So today I have been ordered by Puri and Lakshmi Prabhu to speak on the glories of Lord Jagannath. And this is a wonderful occasion. We are celebrating the Snan Yatra of Lord Jagannath today. Speaking about the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very purifying for the senses. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada again and again, or in the purports, he quotes the importance of hearing about Krishna. Brahman Krishna Katha Punya Madhvi Lokamalapaha Kona Tripyeta Shrunvana Shutatnya Nityanutana. In the discussion between Maharaj Parikshit and Shukadeva Goswami, Srila Prabhupada quotes in the purport that this discussion about Sri Krishna, Brahman Krishna Katha Punya, it is very purifying. And what are the other characteristics of such discussion? Madhvi, it's very sweet. It's considered to be a medicine which solves the problem of repeated birth and death. In this world, when we analyze the nature of medicines, it's very bitter and it's not something that's palatable. Right from children up to old people, they have a distaste for medicines. But this Krishna Katha is considered to be Madhvi, sweet. And Lokamalapaha, it cleanses our consciousness and it does it in a very soothing way. We don't have to gulp anything down. You don't have to hear anything unpalatable. You simply have to attentively hear the pastimes and the qualities of Sri Krishna. But the condition is we must have faith and most importantly we have to be awake. So generally the program that we have in our temples is that we test your patience with a long class and then give you prasadam. Because we are given prasadam first, then nobody is awake, including the speaker. So therefore, Kona Tripyeta, who's that person who would say, I'm satisfied with Krishna Katha? This is such a medicine which solves our problem and leaves us unsatisfied. The more you hear, the more you want to hear. This is the nature of Krishna Katha. And Sri Krishna, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, He manifests in so many multifarious incarnations. Ramadimurti Sukala Niyamena Tishtan Nana Vatara Makarod Bhuvaneshu Kintu. The Brahma Samhita describes the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. He manifests in different forms, with different qualities, in different pastimes, for fundamentally three things: protecting the devotees, destroying the miscreants, and re-establishing religious principles. Which is this verse from the Bhagavad Gita? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami. But then Shukadeva Goswami says, of all these incarnations, ete cham sakala pumsam krishnastu bhagavan swayam. O Maharaj Parikshit, although the Supreme Personality manifests in different places, in different forms, but the original personality of Godhead is Sri Krishna. Therefore, in the Krishna book, Srila Prabhupada subtitles it as Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God. And one of this Sri Krishna's wonderful forms, very captivating, very attractive, and very popular forms, is Lord Jagannath. So today, celebrating this occasion of Snan Yatra, for the time that I have, we dive little deep and we'll discuss little philosophy and little stories about this occasion. I have to time and again keep seeing the watch. Is there a place where I could, is there a watch here? I can just space myself. Or somebody can just give me a hint. Oh, Prabhu is there. He can give me a hint when to start. The glories of Lord Jagannath and this beautiful place, Jagannath Puri, is described in great detail in the Puranas. In the Narsimha Purana, in the Narada Purana, in the Padma Purana, in the Vishnu Purana, but most elaborately in the Purushottam Kshetra Mahatmya chapter of the Skanda Purana. It describes a beautiful narration of how Lord Brahma, who is considered to be the secondary creator, Visarga, he was creating the material universe with the material elements, but at a certain point he felt very dejected. He went and approached Lord Vishnu and he said, "What is this service? You tell me to put all this together, but well, I know living entities in this material world are going to be tormented by 7 sufferings: birth, old age, disease, death, Adi-Daivik, which means suffering caused by natural calamity, Adhyatmik, suffering caused by the self, and Adi-Bhautik, suffering caused by others. Why am I being used as an instrument to put up a place where everybody is going to suffer? My Lord, isn't there a single place where the living entities of this world can find some solace?" So Lord Vishnu, answering that question of Brahma, he says, yes, there is one place. In the middle planetary system, close to the Mahanadi river, is a beautiful place called as Purushottam Kshetra. It is next to Nilachala, that mountain which shines very effulgently like a blue sapphire, Nila Achala. Those who go there and take darshan, have darshan, the audience of the Lord in the form of Lakshmi and Nila Madhava, they are relieved from the cycle of birth and death. So what would Brahma naturally do? He created everything and he said, first I will go there and take darshan. So as he started going towards Nilachala, he saw a very beautiful Kalpavriksha tree. And on the banks of a Kalpavriksha tree was Rohini Kund. Now Brahma was not sure whether this is the place or no. But at Rohini Kund he saw something very magnificent. He saw an insignificant sinful crow dip down to sip some water, and as it touched the waters of Rohini Kund, it regained its 4-armed form as an associate of Vishnu and went back to the spiritual world. Now this was startling for Brahma. Brahma with his 4 heads, with 4 mouths emanating the 4 Vedas, couldn't fathom how this is possible. So he went to Lakshmi and Nila Madhava, and with folded palms he said, is this the place that Vishnu described Is there a reason how this crow got delivered? Before Lakshmi just began to explain, there was one person who was really troubled by this, and that was Yamaraj. He said, my Lord, you've given me the task of punishing the sinful, but what is this mercy? Somebody as insignificant and as sinful as a crow just touches the waters of Rohini Kund and goes back with a 4-armed form. What is the use of my service? I might as well just retire and sit at home. What is the use? So Lakshmi started speaking to Yamaraj and Brahma. She said, "Oh Yamaraj, you have this task of punishing the evil and the sinful, but all of your powers are outside this territory of Purushottam Kshetra. This land is the eternal land. It is indestructible. Even at the time of universal dissolution, this land remains intact. This is called as Purushottam Kshetra because this is the eternal abode of Purushottam Shri Krishna. The Supreme Lord manifests in different ages and He always remains Purushottam. When He appears in Treta Yuga as Ramachandra, He is called Maryada Purushottam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead who follows proper rules and regulations according to moral conduct and ethics. When He comes as Krishna, He is called as Leela Purushottama, the Supreme Personality of Godhead who displays beautiful pastimes. And when He manifests in Kali Yuga as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, He is called as Prema Purushottama, the Supreme Personality of Godhead who descends to give pure love. So this land belongs to that Supreme Personality of Godhead. So all your powers and prowess are outside. Nothing works here. So therefore, O Yamaraj, if you really want to get benefited, you must remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Neela Madhava, in this holy land. And then she explained how Lord Shiva previously showered mercy on Markandeya Muni in that land. And following those footsteps, Yamaraj stayed there and worshipped a nice linga of Lord Shiva. Even now when you go to Jagannath Puri, that place is close to Yama Sarovar, a pond where Yamaraj meditated. And that linga of Vishnu is called Yameshwar Mahadev. The linga of Shiva is called Yameshwar Mahadev. When this discussion was on, Brahma said, "O Lakshmi Devi, you instructed Yamaraj. Could you kindly instruct me too?" So Lakshmi Devi began to speak. She said, "O Brahma, please note, this land is so pure. Anyone who takes one step in this land of Purushottam Kshetra, which is the present day Jagannath Puri, anyone who takes one step in this tract of land gets the benefit of circumambulating the whole cosmic creation. Anybody who speaks even a word in the glorification of the Supreme Lord gets the merit of chanting all the Vedic hymns. And anyone who lays on his back, touching the ground of Jagannath Puri, gets the benefit of one-pointed contemplative samadhi." Of course, Srila Prabhupada told us we shouldn't go to Jagannath Puri and just sleep. But this is just to extol the beautiful, unparalleled glories of Jagannath Puri. Lakshmi told Brahmaji, "My Supreme Lord, Neela Madhava, is going to be present for 50 years of your life. But after that, he is going to disappear and reappear in a new form called Jagannath. And when that form appears, there's going to be a great king by the name King Indradyumna. And you have to help him establish Jagannath in this place." So Brahma agreed. Now, when this discussion was going on among the sages, Jaimini Rishi was asked this question. "You said King Indradyumna? Could you tell us more about this king?" And Jaimini Rishi began. He said there was a great king by the name Indradyumna, and he ruled the place of Avanti, which is the present day Ujjain. And he had everything in his possession, all the things that a king would aspire for. But there was some vacancy in his heart, because this king, Indradyumna, he thought, "I have Dhanam, Janam, Sundarim. I have everything. I have wealth, I have followers, I have good wives, I have children, I have everything. But I lack the knowledge which would help me escape the repeated cycle of birth and death. So one day when a sage walked into King Indradyumna's palace, he asked the sage, could you tell me, is there any place in this whole cosmic creation where I could go and get benefited, where I can learn the science of the soul, where I can learn who the Supreme Personality of Godhead is, and is there a place where I can actually practice bhakti and get benefited? The sage smiled and he said, O king, I am just coming from Purushottam Kshetra, which is close to the Mahanadi river. Therefore, you should go there and take darshan of Nila Madhava. Anybody who takes darshan of Nila Madhava escapes the cycle of birth and death. So what would the king do? Prepare, make a plan. But the king was little smart. He sent his chief minister. In fact, this was, technically speaking, this was the brother of the chief minister by the name Vidyapati. He said, please go and check whether this is true. Please go and find out for truth where this place is. So Vidyapati, he cut through everything, went to Rohini Kund, saw Nilachala and took darshan of Nila Madhava. The story goes very detailed, but I cut short. Through the tribes called as Shravaras, the head of the tribe was Vishwavasu. And through that help, this Vidyapati saw everything and came back and told Maharaj Indradyumna, yes, O king, there is this place. Nila Madhava looks stunning. I would request you, please pack up your bags and let the whole kingdom go there and settle for good. Let's not come back to Oman. So the king made a big announcement. He said, we are all going to this beautiful place of Purushottam Kshetra. Pack your bags. So everybody got excited and they all started. There was a big procession with all the entourage and they started moving towards this beautiful Purushottam Kshetra. And at that time a great devotee, a celestial traveler by the name Narada Muni, he intercepted them. Now Narada Muni has a very special quality like the great souls have. The Srimad Bhagavatam describes Bhavat Vida Bhagavata Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibho Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani Swantastena Kadabdata. Great souls were completely renounced. Bhavat Vida Bhagavata, great Maha Bhagavata, Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibho. They themselves are traveling places of pilgrimage. Why? Swantastena Gadavrita, because they hold Krishna in their heart. And therefore they are so pure, Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani. They can actually purify even a pastime pilgrimage place by their presence. This is a fact. In the 50th arrival ceremony of Srila Prabhupada last year, I remember His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami said a very, very beautiful point. He said people retire and leave everything to go to Vrindavan when they are 60 and 70. And our beloved founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada at that age left Vrindavan to give Vrindavan to the world. Because he was carrying Krishna in his heart, therefore he was a traveling Vrindavan. Harishori Prabhu describes how Srila Prabhupada was a living Bhagavatam. The Bhagavatam talks about the qualities of a great soul. He should be compassionate, he should be tolerant, he should be well versed in the scripture, he should be humble, etc. But to find all of that in one personality, and Srila Prabhupada was an embodiment of that. So great souls like Narada, they are traveling pilgrimage places. And Narada Muni, if you analyze the scripture, has such a wonderful quality. Anyone whom Narada Muni intercepts, that personality gets Krishna. He intercepted Dhruva, and Dhruva Maharaj got the Supreme Lord. He spoke Harikatha when Prahlad was in the womb, and Prahlad saw Narasimhadev. He intercepted Vyasadev, and Vyasadev wrote the Srimad Bhagavatam. So many such examples. So Narada Muni intercepted King Indradyumna, and that was a sign for King Indradyumna that he is soon going to see the Supreme Lord. Narada Muni spoke Harikatha, and they all chanted and danced very wonderfully. As they were going, they entered the place called as the kingdom of Utkal. The king of Utkal, he was a small king. So he came out, folded palms, and said, "O King Indradyumna, I am so fortunate. You have blessed our kingdom with your lotus feet." So King Indradyumna said, what is the news? Is everything okay? So the king of Utkal said, everything is perfect except for a bad news. The bad news is there was a big storm and the deity of Nila Madhava has disappeared. What would your reaction be? Imagine you're going with a big following. Imagine like Ratha Yatra, and then the person says, well, the deity of Jagannatha is not there. So King Indradyumna literally fainted. But Narada Muni was there, he pacified him. He said, a devotee of the Lord, he neither hankers, nor fears, nor laments. He doesn't. When he doesn't have something, he doesn't hanker for it. Because if he deserves it, Krishna would give him. When he gets it, he doesn't fear losing it. Because if Krishna wants to take it, he's free to, because it belongs to him. And when he loses it, he doesn't lament, because he understands ultimately it doesn't belong to him. Yasyam vai shruyamanayam krishne parama purushe bhaktir utpadhyate pumsam shoka moha bhayapa. By hearing Hari Katha from the Srimad Bhagavatam, these three emotions are lost. We don't hanker for material things. When you get them, you don't fear losing it. And when you lose it, you don't lament. It's a very nice deal. Just hear Hari Katha and these qualities will develop. So Narad Muni pacified King Indradyumna and he said, don't worry, Krishna is there. If you are sincere, Krishna will reveal himself to you. Srila Prabhupada would say, Krishna reveals himself to us in accordance to our surrender to him. Ye yatham mam prapadhyante tam stataiva bhajamyaham. Chapter 4, text 11. Bhagavad Gita. To the extent we surrender to Krishna, to that extent he reveals himself. So he said, O King Indradyumna, don't worry, have hope. He said, okay. So they all continued with double enthusiasm. Now they entered the city of Bhuvaneshwar. And Narad Muni started speaking the glories of that place. This portion of this discussion is also found in the Krishna book, Srila Prabhupada explains. So as they entered Bhuvaneshwar, King Indradyumna said, could you kindly explain what is the glories of this place? And Narad Muni began. He said, Lord Shiva, when he married Sati, or Parvati, as she is called, her father didn't like him. This discussion is there in the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Because he thought Lord Shiva, in his terms, didn't possess anything. He didn't even have a house of his own. He wore dead man's ashes on his body, wore a garland of skulls, wore tiger and deer skin, and sometimes would dance so emphatically that he would lose his cloth and would dance naked. Lord Shiva, Prabhupada explains, is the best among Vaishnavas, so he was completely renounced. So Parvati went and told Lord Shiva, well, my father thinks this is the reality. So Lord Shiva said, I will show him how powerful I am. And through a spark of his meditation, he created the city of Kashi. Therefore, Lord Shiva is also called as Kashinath. So once he created this beautiful city, but Goddess Parvati said, well, this doesn't satisfy me. Let's go back to Kailash. So they gave it to a king called as Kashi Raj and went back to Kailash. Now this Kashi Raj had a friend who was an imitator of Krishna by the name Pundraka or Paundraka as he's called. And he would put on 4 arms, he would put on a peacock feather, a Kaustuba mani, a Srivatsa mark, and he would write a letter to Krishna saying, well, the Sudarshan chakra that you're holding is actually mine. When are you going to return it back to me? Well, the Srivatsa mark and the Kaustuba jewel is all mine. Why are you pretending to be me? In fact, he wrote a letter to Krishna. Krishna saw the letter and he laughed. Krishna sent the Sudarshan chakra. This is what you want? Take it. And the Sudarshan chakra was left by Krishna. It just went, reached the city of Kashi, slit the head of the Kashi Raj, and then came back to Krishna. Now the son of Kashi Raj, by the name Sudakshina, He was outraged. He said, how is this possible that this Krishna killed my father? Now I'm going to take Lord Shiva on my side and battle Krishna. He put on a tantric performance and created a demon by the name Dakshagni. He said, go and kill Krishna. And according to tantric rites, if you don't properly perform it, instead of killing the person, it comes back and kills you. So Dakshagni went and reached Dwaraka, and Krishna invoked the Sudarshan Chakra and he came back. But the Sudarshan Chakra followed Dakshagni, killed Sudakshina, and now was chasing Lord Shiva. Because when Sudakshina asked for Lord Shiva's help, Lord Shiva was overwhelmed with emotions. Oh, this is my dear devotee. Don't worry, for you I can do anything. Go fight Krishna, I'm on your side. Now Dakshagni was killed, Sudakshina was killed, and now Lord Shiva is almost being burnt by the blazing fire of Sudarshan Chakra. Lord Shiva started running. He ran to Dwaraka, he told Krishna, I'm really sorry. Krishna looked and laughed with anger. He said, there's nobody who hates me like you do. You're my devotee and you take his side. Lord Shiva said, I don't know how I did this, my Lord. I'm very sorry. I was just overwhelmed by giving shelter to my dear devotee, and I'm really sorry. Please give me a service that keeps me humble. Lord Krishna said, the service for you is that wherever I reside, you would stand outside that pilgrimage place and you will guard my house. You will be the watchman, so to speak. You will take care and protect. Lord Shiva agreed. Narada Muni said, therefore, before entering Jagannath Puri, Lord Shiva is standing here to protect as Bhuvaneshwar Mahadev. Even now when we go to Vrindavan, different places in Vrindavan has Lord Shiva. In Vrindavan, Lord Shiva is present as Gopeshwar Mahadev. In Govardhan, Lord Shiva is present as Chakaleshwar Mahadev. In Nandagram, he is present in so many forms. Icheshwar Mahadev, Aseshwar Mahadev, etc. So in this way, in Kamyavan, he is present as Kameshwar Mahadev, Vankanteshwar Mahadev, Gokulanandeshwar Mahadev. So he is present, always protecting. King Indradyumna, as he was hearing, he meditated on Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva appeared and he said, O King Indradyumna, don't worry. Although Neelamadhava has disappeared, I will give you a technique how you can re-invoke his presence. There's a very beautiful deity of Narasimhadev in Puri. Please go and build a beautiful temple for him and perform 1,000 Ashwamedha Yajnas. You will reach your goal. So with the blessings of Lord Shiva and with increased enthusiasm, with the supervision of Narada, they all left and they entered Purushottam Kshetra. This land of Purushottam Kshetra is also called as Shri Kshetra because it is the land of Shri or Lakshmi. It is also called as Shankha Kshetra because the shape of the land is like a conch shell. It has one more name, but I'll speak about that later. So they entered, they saw this beautiful deity of Narasimhadev. He made wonderful temple for Narasimhadev. And Narasimhadev came in the dream of King Indradyumna and he said, now you perform 1,008 yajnas, 1,000 odd yajnas, Ashwamedha yajnas, and you will reach your goal. So he had Narada Muni's sanction, he had Lord Shiva's direction, and then he had Lord Narasimha's supervision. So after that, they performed yajnas, one after another. And as he was getting close to 999, in the dream of King Indradyumna, he saw the beautiful four-handed form of Lord Vishnu in Vaikuntha. And Lord Vishnu was looking at King Indradyumna and he had a big smile on his face. So King Indradyumna asked Narada Muni, I saw this dream, what does this mean? So Narada Muni smiled and he said, O King, you pleased Lord Shiva, you pleased Narasimhadev, you have pleased everyone, and now you are pleasing Lord Vishnu. Very soon, he would appear in this world in the form that you like. So he's smiling out of satisfaction. So as he was finishing that, there was wonderful aromatic fragrance coming from the ocean. It was unmatched. People, it is described in the description that people were just overwhelmed with ecstasy as they smelled that fragrance. And they all rushed to the ocean. He said, what is this fragrance? Where is it coming from? And they saw a big log of wood floating on the surface. And Narada Muni called everybody together. He looked very closely at that log of wood, and it had 4 symbols on it. The signs and symbols of Shankha, which means conch shell, Chakra, the disc, Gadha, the club or the mace, and the lotus, which are the 4 signs and symbols of Vishnu. He uses 2 for protection and 2 for destruction of demons. So when Narada Muni saw that, he said, that Vishnu who smiled in your dream, one of his hair has descended and manifested in the form of this log of wood. There are 4 signs of Vishnu on it. O King Indradyumna, your life is successful. The Supreme Lord has manifested in the form of wood. That Supreme Lord who manifests in the form of rock as Govardhan Hill, who manifests in the form of water, body in the form of Ganga and Yamuna, who manifests in the form of literature as the Srimad Bhagavatam, who manifests in the form of sound as the holy name, has now manifested in the form of wood as Daru Brahman or Jagannath. Narada Muni said the Supreme Lord is called as Brahman, Parabrahman, and Daru in Odia means wood. So Daru Brahman is the Supreme Personality of Godhead manifested in the form of wood. So King Indradyumna saw this, but he couldn't fathom how the Supreme Lord is this. So he asked Narada Muni, what should I do of this? Narada Muni said, I have already called for Vishwakarma, the spiritual architect, the one who is the chief architect in Indra's kingdom. So Vishwakarma came in and he said, I want 15 days of silence. Nobody should disturb me. Just give me this log of wood and I will do the rest. Nobody should even come, intervene, or even hear the chiseling sound. After 15 days, I will have the thing ready. So King Indradyumna Maharaj was very happy. He said, only 15 days. Then I see the Supreme Personality of God at the Lord of my heart in front of me and I get liberated. But as the story of Sakshi Gopal goes, the Lord said, don't turn back. Even if you don't hear my ankle bell sound, don't turn, have faith. Similarly in this story, 15 days, 13 days, 14 days, 15 days, 16 days, 17 days, King Indradyumna started feeling restless. He put his ear and he couldn't hear any chiseling sound. Is he doing something? Has he just slept inside? What is he doing? He barged in and opened the door and Vishwakarma stopped. He said, oops, you promised me you're not going to get in. Because you broke your promise, I'm going to leave it as it is. No more work. King Indradyumna started crying. I came all the way and my impatience broke everything. Oh Narada, please help me. So as Narada Muni always helped King Indradyumna, he came in. He looked at the beautiful forms and he said, the lords are complete. There's no more work required. He said, how is this? But they have no hands. They have no legs. What is this? And Narada Muni began another description. He said, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, when he was ruling Dwarka, he was served by so many Lakshmis, Rukminis, Satyabhamas, and the queens of Dwarka. Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambhrama Sevyamanam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. But then still, when the Supreme Lord would lay back at night, he would cry, and the pillows would be wet as the Supreme Lord would say, O Mother Yashoda, O Srimati Radharani, O Madhumangal, O Subal, O my cows, Hansini, Dhavani, Kumkumi, where are you? Where is my flute? Where is Vrindavan? So the queens, they went to Rohini Devi, who was the mother of Balaram, and said, you are the only one who's been in Vrindavan and in Dwaraka. please tell us, what is that special mood of the residents of Vrindavan which is eclipsing even our service to Krishna? Mother Rohini said, I am ready to describe, but only on one condition. The condition is, I want Subhadra to be the watch person outside. I wouldn't say watchman, but watch person outside. They said, why? She can come inside and hear. Rohini said, no. If she comes in and there's nobody to guard the door, Krishna and Balaram can hear this. Their hearts would melt. They would leave all of you and run back to Vrindavan. Is that what you want? They said, no, we want to keep Krishna and Balaram here. So keep Subhadra outside. So Subhadra stood outside like this on the door. She stood like this. I'll take care. Let Rohini Devi speak and I will guard. And Rohini Devi began speaking. She said, Krishna, although he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the love of the Brajavasis, the residents of Vrindavan, is so sweet that Krishna in Vrindavan forgets that he is God. Is it that Krishna cannot procure butter on his own? Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram. Krishna says, I possess everything, right from the atom to the planets and everything in the middle. But what to do? I still have to beg, borrow and steal for that soft nectarian butter that the gopis make. Krishna is completely trapped by the love of the residents of Vrindavan. Prabhupada would say this, the residents of Vrindavan love Krishna so much that Krishna forgets he is God. And the Supreme Personality of Godhead speaks lies. The absolute truth lies to please his devotees in Vrindavan. He eats dirt because that contains the dust of the lotus feet of his purest devotees. Krishna would show Mother Yashoda the whole cosmic creation in his mouth. And Mother Yashoda would think, is my child actually God? Then she would think, no, he cannot be God. Because if he is God, he wouldn't fear lightning and come and hide behind my sari. If he is God, he wouldn't cry when he is hungry. If he is God, he wouldn't sleep and hug me and cuddle close to me at night. God is completely satisfied. But what to do? Krishna cannot be conquered by anything except pure love. And the love of the residents of Vrindavan is so deep and pure that it completely conquers Shri Krishna. Who is greater? Is Krishna greater or is devotees greater? The answer is the devotees are greater. Krishna is great because he possesses everything. But the devotees are great because they don't possess anything except Krishna, who possesses it. It's a mutual competition. The devotee lives, breathes and dies for Krishna. And Krishna lives and exists to serve his devotees. Any picture that you find, do you find any picture that Krishna is all by himself? Krishna is always with his beautiful devotees in Vrindavan. And when that Sri Krishna left Vrindavan, the air stopped. The breeze stopped. Nobody was living. Nobody was dying. Nobody was breathing. Nobody was living because they couldn't see Krishna. Nobody was dying because the memories of Krishna wouldn't let them die. It is described when Krishna left Vrindavan, the trees were burning in the fire of separation, but thank God they were watered by the tears of the gopis. Mother Yashoda would cry a puddle of tears in separation from Krishna, but this fire of separation from Krishna would evaporate those tears. The birds, the animals would stand stunned with their beaks and mouths open. It's described that calves would go close to the cow's udder and wouldn't swallow milk and wouldn't drink milk and wouldn't swallow it. Just keep it in its mouth because time stopped. And as Mother Rohini was describing the unparalleled love of the residents of Vrindavan, Subhadra Devi, who was put out for a certain service, forgot her service. So next time when you forget your service, you have an excuse. Subhadra Devi, who was put out to guard that Krishna and Balram, they shouldn't come here and hear to the narration, she lost control of time. She lost everything, and with both her ears, she was just drinking the nectarian ambrosial flow of Krishna Katha. And she didn't even realize that Krishna and Balram were actually standing to either sides of her. And as Krishna and Balaram, along with Subhadra, they were listening to the love of the Brajavasis, how Mother Yashoda would treat Krishna. Imagine, we fear death. Do we? Yes, we fear death. Death fears Krishna. Mrityor mrityum namamyaham. And that Sri Krishna, whom death fears, he runs in fear, fearing Mother Yashoda's whipping stick. As they were listening to this, they had a big smile on their face. Because being in Dwaraka for the first time, they were listening to the nectarian flow of Vrindavan. Their eyes dilated, their arms and the legs went within and became short. And Subhadra, who was standing like this, her arms went inside the body. And when this whole thing was going on, Narada Muni went there and he said, I have seen this! I have seen this! And this broke the ecstasy of Jagannath. And he said, see what? Narada said, I have seen the manifestation of pure love, how Krishna feels and looks when he misses Vrindavan. I have seen this. So Krishna looked at Narada and he said, what would you take to keep mum? Narada said, the only thing that I would ask for, O Shri Krishna, the vision and the mercy that I have got through these forms, let the whole world see this. And this was the form that Vishwakarma had sculpted and chiseled out in the logs of wood. Therefore Narada told Indradyumna, they are complete. They are complete. There is nothing more lacking. The form of Krishna when he is in separation from his dear devotees is Jagannath. He is the Lord of the universe. Please install him. So with the help of Brahma, who was ordered by Lakshmi initially, they installed Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra on the altar. And wonderful decoration, kirtan and music and offerings continued. So this day is the day that Supreme Lord appeared in this beautiful form of Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra. This is Sunday. Jagannath took his first ever public bath, Snan. It's interesting. The more popular you are, the more egoistic you are, and the more ashamed you are to come in public, especially without clothes. But look at Jagannath. He's the Lord of the universe. He takes a public bath. Nobody cares. So this land of Jagannath Puri is so wonderful. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent 18 years of his sannyas life in Jagannath Puri. And what mercy! Krishna in separation from Srimati Radharani as Jagannath and Srimati Radharani in separation from Krishna as Gauranga were face to face in this beautiful land of Jagannath Puri. Therefore, the name that I promised you I would say, this land is also called as Vipralamba Kshetra, the land of intense pure separation. And what a wonderful land. All our acharyas went there. They all glorified this land of Jagannath Puri. And our Srila Prabhupada did something so wonderful. If you call somebody as the Lord of the universe, you must actually take him around the universe, right? How would you call somebody as the Lord of the universe if he is not known outside of Jagannath Puri? Prabhupada as if he held the hand of Jagannath and said, "You are the Lord of this world. I will take you for a world tour." And he spread the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu of the chanting of the holy names and this wonderful procession of Ratha Yatra in every major city of the world. Who would imagine that places like Boston, places like New York, places like Hartford, Connecticut, anybody would know about Jagannath? Forget about putting him on a cart and representing and signifying the love of the gopis. This is surely Srila Prabhupada's mercy that 1 week from now on, we are going to actually feel that love of Srila Prabhupada while Jagannath comes on the street. And everybody who knows Jagannath and who doesn't know Jagannath will all be benefited by his darshan. Srila Prabhupada, when he was 5 years old, as a child, he put up a wonderful Jagannath Ratha Yatra and he inspired everybody to pull the Ratha Yatra. And even after Srila Prabhupada's physical departure, we are all here expressing our respect, gratitude to Srila Prabhupada because of the treasure that he gave us. He gave us Mahaprabhu's mercy through the holy name, he gave us Jagannath's mercy through Ratha Yatra, and he was actually the torch bearer, the carrier, the order carrier of all the acharyas in our beautiful, illustrious Rupanuga Gaudiya Parampara. So on this note, expressing sincere gratitude to His Grace Pyari Mohan Prabhu and Mother Jiva for tolerating, I would use, tolerating me for close to an hour, and all the devotees here for being here.
You know, you promised you weren't going to come in until I was finished, and he said because you broke the promise, but you said he promised it'll be done in 15 days. So he broke his promise.
The story goes like that he said 15 days and he did finish in 15 days, and that increased his his anxiety, and so both broke their promise.
So why you leave? Finish the job. I know it. I know.
I'll make sure the next time I meet him I tell him that.
Just a little news. They're making for LA Ratha Yatra some sort of exhibition of Ratha Yatras around the world, so they've been trying to find out how many Ratha Yatras. And as of the last count, just in India, 145 cities have Ratha Yatra every year.
I don't know what it is, but Florida, they have a lot of Ratha Yatras also.
12 Ratha Yatras in Florida. So we were waiting for the final number, but I think it would be somewhere in the range of 700 Ratha Yatras.
So I'll
Where our majority is, I don't know.
probably in the Ratha Yatra.
Any other questions?
Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki Jai. Gaur Premanande.
Everyone